Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 8th of March. I am flatcapcallum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Everybody's focused on Cheltenham, but I'm not quite there yet. Well, I say that. I mean, I've been doing lots of Cheltenham research on the side as well. But yeah, we are playing Friday. I sat out Thursday. There was quite a lot of debate about Thursday in my own head, but when I'm looking at selections and I got nothing at a double figure price, I was just like, it's just all a bit tight and nothing. So yeah, very happy to have sat out Thursday. I think it was the right decision to do for me and for the channel. Yeah, we're gonna have a little play on Friday. Got a £12 staking plan across two bets. So there's two horses at Ayr. In an each way double, and I've got a split leg Yankee on the flat, which consists of two races at Dundalk, one at Meydan and one at Newcastle. So that is it. 7 horses, 6 races. There's quite a bit of racing going on, but yes, as I kind of talked about in the last video, I'm kind of going back. I wouldn't say going back to basics per se, because that would make and yeah. And when I say I moved away from the core principles, I think I said the other day, it doesn't mean to say there's just one way of looking at a race. But yeah, there's some core stuff I've kind of as I said the other day, a little bit more chaffing. I'm not saying everything I'm going to put out is absolutely a zinger, and I'm not saying I'm not going to have any more big prices. But this time of year, I'm just not finding it. If you look at Thursday's races, there was 3 to 1 shots, including C set, which we have backed before, which is one of them ones where I know I looked at that horse and I was like, that will pop up. but that's the problem. If literally all you did is back up back horses all day long that you knew would pop up, you'd send him over a cliff. So yeah, I didn't personally back C set today, but on flat form that horse was always going to pop up at some time on the jumps, and Shark Hanlon sent it over to Carlisle, which with his son riding, and that goes in at 22 to 1. When on paper, from a jumps point of view, it looked terribly handicapped, but turns out it was well handicapped. These things happen all the time. You can't see it. That one I could see, just couldn't see when, and tried it once, maybe twice even on the channel. I can't remember if did it. Maybe did it twice, but yeah, one of them ones. Those are the ones I guess I'm talking about to some degree that I'm actually cutting out a little bit. The ones where I'm taking a flyer because I know it's going to do something at some point, even though the bare form looks terrible to most people, and you're like, what? Why would you go near that thing? I know that at some point that horse will pop up, and yeah, so I'm cut out some of that angle, to be honest, because long term, you might get yourself over the line, and along the way you will pick up some lovely, nice big prices, and when you put them into other things, it can do some magic. But yeah, I want to kind of just try and ease down the variance, as I said in the last video, so that we don't hit so many losing days as we have been doing. So that is the plan. So I've got to do review of what was it? Wednesday. Review of Wednesday. Because there was nothing Thursday, and then there's no golf yet. As much as I don't have any issue about the fact that I didn't do a channel bet on Thursday, didn't do any golf this week on the channel. Not feeling as comfortable about that decision, but there we go. Mark knows what I mean. And then we've got Tips League. Got to do Tips League, and then any Cheltenham news? Yeah, Cheltenham news. Ballyburn's out. Well, not Ballyburn's out. Ballyburn's out the Supreme, which again is a positive indicator for the selection we've got in there. There's no market move or anything for that, and there's still no guarantee my selection another way will run in that race. But yeah, just one less market principle out the way. And it just goes to show you that there'll be plenty of people long way back would have gone, look, first day, I'm going to get my bankers in, Ballyburn, Constitution Hill, Marine National, all on the first day. People will have punted them on and put them in trebles and stuff like that. And, you know, two are injured and one's going to a different race. So betting anti-post, there's no point backing short favourites like that anti-post. I just think it's a bit of a nonsense, really, because you've just got so much uncertainty with it. So, yeah, they might come in a little bit and a bit shorter, but backing something odds-on anti-post, even before non-run at no bet, that's just no game at all. But I mean, I think I said this the other day. YouTube at the moment is saturated with everyone and their auntie giving you a Cheltenham view, and most of them are basically giving you the favourites view. That's kind of what most people seem to be doing. There's a few people out there that are going for some bigger prices, but yeah. And what most of them won't be able to do at all is track any stats to anything, and that's right now I'd say keep your powder dry for Cheltenham. There'll be a couple of angles between now and then when some horses come out and things that you'd suddenly think, oh, that was a good angle. But personally, I shall be waiting until Monday night to be placing any Cheltenham bets. But I guess what I would say as well is same as I've done the last couple of years for Cheltenham. I'll be doing SP only for the channel, so I will be making that change. So for the channel, I take the price for everything I do. For Cheltenham, the markets have been well formed, well ahead, and there isn't the same advantage necessarily of trying to get on a price at a festival like that. So I'll be taking SP prices. All right, Wednesday review. What do we do Wednesday? We only did £6. There were short ones. We came up a little bit short in terms of return. Man on a Mission stayed on to get third. Bow and Arrows was second, wasn't far away at all. Delvey was the disappointment, so we got a few quid back for that. And then, this is the one where I had a debate. We did it as a win, but if you'd done it as each way doubles, you would have made a very tiny profit on that. So Man on a Mission placed. Macaulay's Tavern was one out of the placings, and they were second and third. So 3 out of 4 places. So we only had 5 horses on Wednesday, and they were short ones, but 3 placed. So from a strike rate point of view, that's fine to start the week. So moving on. Well, I say that was, so what were we on? 6 on. I think it was 288 back. I think it was something like that. So we lost about £3. So we're £3 down for the week. Clearly, the other stats they're all on the description. Let's not go into that for a day, shall we? So £3 down for the week. This is Friday. So I've got owner trainer double here that I didn't set out for it in any stretch of the imagination. And I had 6 races, and I was like, well, I'll siphon off the jumps races and I'll leave the flat races for the Yankee, because these ones are a little bit more, a little bit more risky to some degree. So the 230, Don't Look Back. If you actually look at ratings, right, it's hard to tell on its last race, which was over course and distance. Ratings wise, it actually ran a nice race, even though it's dropped down the weight, so the basement mark of 80. Racing Post had it running at performance at 87. If that is true, if you just took that form literally, that horse isn't really well handicapped. I don't know if you can take it as literally as that. But what I like about this, and what's pushed me over the line a little bit, is it's a very, very weak race. So there's not a lot of strong stuff in there at all. So something absolutely could pop up. And this horse didn't run terribly in a race, where it wouldn't have expected to have done much last time. And Danny McMenamin is still riding it, and they haven't used Danny McMenamin much. This owner trainer combo, and I just think I like the jockey booking, and I like the fact it's still at Ayr, because this is where the trainer does his best work at Ayr. And when I say he does his best work, often it's with Ardera Cross, who's been a regular on the channel, and it might be 13 years old, and Derek Fox is on that one as opposed to McMenamin on that one, but and McMenamin's been riding Ardera Cross recently, but it's still competitively handicapped. It's the right distance, it likes softer ground, that seems to be where it performs better. So there's not really, apart from go the horse is a bit inconsistent, and it does run quite well when it's not had not in a short space of time between previous runs as well. So I think both of them definitely have a frames chance and are overpriced, and it just happens to be that they've got the same owner and trainer. So 230 air, don't look back 33s, 330 air, Ardera Cross 14s. It's a 30p, so I did write a typo on that one. So 30p each way double and 250p each way singles, so it's 260. Sky give you an extra place on the Ardera Cross race, so they are preferable. Everybody else is a much of a muchness, but 260 for the each way double at air. And then the flat bet looks like this. 440 Dundalk, Bonnie Power 11 to 1 we're starting off with. That is in there. Then the 545 Dundalk is where I've split legged it. And we've got Suit Yourself Boss at 16 to 1. And now my mind's gone completely blank. I promise all of my Irish viewers, I was practicing my Gaelic on that one. And my mind, I've just seen it come up. I'm like, my mind's gone completely blank. I was trying to drum it in to my brain. It's something like Sarsha Lullaby. I know means like freedom, liberty. I looked it up, right? I tried to do my research, but my pronunciation's gone out my name. So something lullaby, Gaelic name meaning freedom and liberty, 20 to 1. So we split leg those, and then we've got the 610 Meydan. So I had a good go through Meydan, and I'm just trying to be a little bit more selective. I haven't been so hot at Meydan this time around, and Jumeirah Bay's the one that's stuck out for me. If you're quick, you might get the 16s on 365, which I think is a bit of a steal of a price. But not all bookies have priced it up. So 11 to 1 I think was the fair price from what I could see across. So Jumeirah Bay 11s, and then 7:30 Newcastle, one Newcastle horse, Hortsadar, which I think we took it last time and it ran an absolute stinker. It was a bit slow out the stalls, and Danny Tudhope literally had it hanging out the back. It's a hold up horse, right? So that's fine. You want it to be far back, but it was too far back, I think. And I think he realised with about a furlong or 2 furlongs to go, it just didn't have enough. It was too far back to get near. If you look at the 3 previous runs over course and distance at Newcastle, then actually that horse should be really, really well handicapped, despite it's a competitive race. So I think it's worth trying at 11s. So 940 is the bet. It's 2 times 10p each way Yankees. That adds up to £4.40. So Bonnie Power, Suit Yourself Boss, Jumeirah Bay, Hortsadar, and then Bonnie Power, Lullaby, Jumeirah Bay, Hortsadar. They're the 2 Yankees, and then we'll just for nice and easiness, I've just done 5 times 50p each way singles. So all 5 50p each way singles, 940. Sky come out best with extra places. Then the next 6 are all the same, but 365 and Paddy will get bog in the morning. So other than that, it's Hills, Betfair, Unibet, Boyle Sports. They are the best 7 bookies for Bet 2. And that is it. That's what I'm putting out to you. So 3 days, well, we've only got 1 day of the week left for me, haven't we, Saturday? And I've invested a mere £18. So very, very quiet investment. Let's see if we can get some profit cogs turning for Friday. And then, Saturday definitely looks like there's some viable things in there. I'll be having a good route through the Imperial Cup on Saturday. So yeah, that's in. I mean, it's a reasonable enough weekend to have a little nibble on it. But obviously, a lot of focus is now on Cheltenham. But Cheltenham is 4 days. It is 28 races. There are lots of other races in the year. But we all want to do well at Cheltenham, don't we? Everybody wants to do well. And there is so much more scrutiny on YouTube channels at Cheltenham. So if it goes well, I know the subscriber count goes through the roof, like it did on the first year on the channel. If it goes badly, then, literally people will be never seeing me again, I'm sure. Not as in, I'm not going to disappear forever, as in they're just not going to bother coming back. So, we'll see. But I've started to go through the handicaps and finding a few things at nice enough prices. But I've just got no interest in backing them and putting them out now. I'd much rather wait to see what thins out a little bit. And They're still in the handicap ranks. You've got horses with multiple entries. Things like, the Coral Cup, Martin Pipe is so hard when you've got horses put into both of those. You can make a bit of a judgment on who the jockey might be, or from a rating point of view, is it going to get in the Coral Cup versus the Martin Pipe? But I just think certainly my experience the last 2 years of trying to specifically put out anti-post stuff on the channel, there wasn't much doing in the handicap division. So yes, we had some good results in there, and I think first year I think it was third wind, but the SP was the same price as the anti-post price, so it didn't make any difference. And yeah, I'm not seeing big market moves for some of the things I'm likely to go for, so I shall just be waiting until next week for that. Tips the league. So tips the league last week. Let me just check. I got my note here. We got 60 entries, 12 made profit, which is better than the 7 week before, and only 35 lost everything, as opposed to I think 48 the week before. Last week's big winner, Mike Fletcher. Well done. £120 profit last week. Absolutely steamrolled it. Double more than anyone else. That was double more than Samar Kevin, who was second at 54, who is also, along with Mike, they are pushing themselves up that leaderboard overall. Patrick Langford third, Gerard Macaulay fourth, Ed Trainer fifth, Secret Lemonade Drinker sixth, Shane seventh, John Hurahan over in Spain eighth, Dominic Carver ninth, Anthony Nailon 10th. That was the top 10. What does it mean for the overall top 10? Shosman is still at number 1 with the 320, sitting pretty, hasn't played since his big win. Des Gibbons lost his tenner, so he dropped down to 285.90. Mike Fletcher's now in the 200 club on 226 overall in third place. Samar Kevin's got himself up to 141 in fourth place. And then we had Adam Essat and Dominic Carver and John P3500 all dropped down. And then I've got Mark Dash and Scott Harvey still 8th and 9th. And the new entry in the top 10, Gerard Macaulay, has got himself up to 10th place in the leaderboard. Well done, Gerard. That is your Tips the League update. So Tips League is back for Saturday, and that we've got 3 Saturdays to go until I go on the channel break. So whoever is top at that point will be top for a long time. So that'll be the provisional 2024 result. Because I'm not even going to guarantee I'll come back with a Tips the League. I'm not going to make that guarantee. So if you are top, and if that is still Shosman, he could potentially be sat there waiting for months and months, the agony of knowing whether or not anyone's going to have the chance to try and topple him. So that's that. So I'm expecting. What am I expecting? I'm expecting it to be a Friday night upload for this weekend. I think that is what I'm expecting. So expecting Friday night upload, and then that would be me until Monday night upload, which would be first day of Cheltenham. So current plan is not to do any selections for Sunday or Monday, unless there's anything absolutely extraordinary, I find. So Sunday and Monday will be likely no bets as the regular point, but who knows? If I find some zinger lurking at 50 to 1 in a nice handicap, I might just come on and do a video and do that. But I haven't found anything close to that this week, I tell you. I mean, it was nice today. I mean, what was it? Wednesday, 12 to 1 was the best price I had, and I had nothing like that Thursday, so I didn't bother. So at least I've got 33s and the 20s putting out there for Friday. All right, I think I'll leave it there. Otherwise, I shall start to get complaints about length of videos and wittering on, all that sort of stuff. I mean, the complaints team, they get overrun at times, they do. And I don't pay them enough, so I'd rather just try and avoid it. Makes it easy, doesn't it? And that is that. And then Cheltenham. There was a question about Cheltenham. Somebody asked me, so I'll just verbalise this as well. The plan for Cheltenham is I'll do the video each night, and it will be a bit like last year and the year before, where there'll be some separate singles and then a small amount of accumulator type bets. What I think I might do differently to last year is I was using a step formula last year, which, there was like a lucky 15 and a Trixie and a win Trixie, as well as that, and an each way accumulator. I think I will see day by day what that looks like, rather than try and fix stake it and fix stake in planet. I think I will go with what I feel is right for each day. And I say that because the last 2 years I've done it as a fixed price each day. And not saying that's bad, but that doesn't necessarily correspond to how I would bet it myself. So if I look now, and there'll be plenty of people that have a completely different view on this, but if you're betting value, I believe Thursday's the best day. Thursday for me is the best day. Wednesday second best day, Friday third best day, and Tuesday is the hardest day for value. That's how I perceive the markets at the current time. A lot of people actually tell you it's the other way round, because they basically will say that Tuesday is better because they're trying to find winners. As you know on here, winners are good, but winners don't win you over a long term. Value wins you long term, and so yeah, Thursday is the best day as far as I would see it. Thursday was when we had a nice day 2 years ago. I think last year, obviously last year was a bit of a struggle all year, all 4 days, but I think I'll have to check back the stats. I think Tuesday was actually our better day. But what I will do as well is I'm going to do a bit of a rundown of kind of performance of each race when we get to it on each day as well, in terms of just from I'm not going to go into my own personal archives. I'm just going to do channel for the last couple of years, because I haven't actually looked in comparison to sort of see is there any race that have done well in both years, and is there any race that have done an absolute shocking in both years. Doesn't necessarily indicate performance this time around, but this sort of be interesting stats to share. All right, I will finish there. Okay, you have a good day, whatever you're doing, and I'll be back Friday night for the last video, I think, before Cheltenham. Thank you very much. Bye bye.